Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Mindy Eggen and today I'm going to create a very simple card with a huge wow factor. I'm going to be using the Spring Flowers background stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This is a red rubber mounted stamp. So I am going to remove the foam insert of my MISTI tool. I'm going to place that in the MISTI tool, and then I have a piece of black cardstock here that I just put a little bit of tape runner on the back. I placed that over my background, closed the MISTI backwards, and then flipped this over. I was able to then kind of place the cardstock where I wanted it to go. Now I'm going to just stamp a Versamark ink all over the background and stamp this down onto my black cardstock. You want to make sure when using Perfect Pearls, which is what I'm going to use today, you have a really nice sticky ink, and Versamark works really well for this. Now, if you haven't used Perfect Pearls before, they are a pigment powder with a binding agent in them. You can get them in little kits that come with a little kind of Versamark type of ink pad. It's just a really, really sticky ink that comes with it. And there are a variety of packs that you can get. For today, I am using Iris and Blue Hydrangea. These have a really nice iridescent type of tone to them. So what I'm doing is just taking this little brush that comes actually in one of the Perfect Pearls kits. I'm picking up a little bit of that powder with the brush and just dabbing that all over the background. Now you can see I am scattering the two colors, so kind of mixing the two a little bit. Just adding it all over where I had stamped that Versamark ink, and this pigment powder is going to stick to that ink. Now I know it looks kind of like a mess right now, but trust me, it is going to it's going to knock your socks off. I'm not gonna lie. Once I have all of that pigment powder down, I'm taking the brush and I'm brushing away all of that excess powder. And so what's left is whatever powder I have is sticking to that Versamark ink. And now check this out. When the light hits it a certain way, it just totally shines. It is gorgeous. I love where the colors are and they're mixed like that. Really quick and easy to do. There are fixatives that you can spray to seal this, but I didn't have any on hand. So off camera, I just took a water misting bottle, spritzed the water in the air, and then kind of waved my cardstock through it. And that is going to help kind of bind that powder to the cardstock. I want to keep the focus on my background, so I'm just going to add a really simple sentiment. This is using the HEXAGON Greetings. I haven't used it before, so I'm running my hand over that stamp set to condition it and just remove any particles that might have been left over from manufacturing. And then I'm stamping this in the Altenew Obsidian ink. This is a pigment ink, so it's going to stamp really nice and crisp. And I do want to give it a few seconds or two to dry. I don't want to smear any of that ink because pigment ink does stay wet just a little bit longer. Then I'm taking the matching die, holding that in place with some Easy C tape, and I'll run that through my die cut machine. I trimmed this panel down to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to line the back of this black cardstock panel with foam tape to add a little bit of dimension, and then I'm going to add it to a fog card base. I'm also going to take that HEXAGON greeting and add foam tape behind that, and then just with the help of my tweezers, I'm going to eyeball this about the center of my card. I also am adding just a few jewels around the sentiment. I have 3 up top and 3 on the bottom, using just an embellishment tool and some liquid glue. So I am absolutely loving how this turned out. The shine that you get out of these, it was so quick, I almost feel guilty because it was so easy to put together. I will have all of the supplies listed down below in the video description and over on my blog as well. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.